I am planning to leave my completely financially dependent and toxic partner.
How do I warn him that he needs to get it together? 4 years ago, my partner and I moved out of our home state when I got a job. Since then, he hasn't worked, and I've been struggling to pay all the bills. It's even harder because he spends over $100 a week on weed, leaving me to cover everything. He often complains about my cooking, but doesn't cook either, so we end up eating out a lot. When he's in a bad mood, he slams things, yells, and calls me names. In early April, I told him I didn't want to be with him anymore. I warned him that if he reacted aggressively, I would leave without notice. Unfortunately, he reacted exactly as I feared, slamming things and creating chaos. To escape the noise, I started working outside our apartment. One day, he barged into my workspace, got in my face, and called me hurtful names. I promised myself that I would leave after that. I know part of his anger comes from the fear of losing his access to housing, food, and a car. He doesn't talk to his family, but he has one close friend whose family might take him in. This summer, he'll be out of town for a week, and I plan to pack up and leave then. I'm unsure how to approach this conversation, especially considering his past reactions. My therapist connected me with a domestic violence organization to help me break my lease. I'm also worried because he knows where my mom lives, which makes me uneasy. I didn't expect my situation to gain so much attention, but I plan to leave in July and will update my progress. For now, things are relatively calm as long as I don't mention breaking up. He can be cruel if I wake him up in the mornings, but lately we've been getting along since he's unaware of my plans. I've even offered to help him pay for his trip, and he doesn't suspect anything. Today is July 26th, about 3 to 4 months since I first shared my story. I'm now in my own apartment, have no contact with my ex, and am focusing on healing. The universe seemed to be on my side. He got a decent job, and last I heard has his own place. When I told him I wanted to split, he was upset and tried to convince me he had changed after just 3 days at his new job. He thought the stress of money was the problem. Now I've blocked him, and I'm feeling hopeful about whatever the future holds.